Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final 9 holes of the 2023 Cold Turkey 18 presented by Dynamic Disc. We're at the Gray Fox course located in southeastern Wisconsin. Right now, Jonathan Borzick is your leader, trying to hold off Nick Robinson, Benjamin Peliotes, doing some work, and our 3-time and defending champ, Christopher Meyer, hasn't gotten things going on the front. However, anything can happen on the back. It is a much more difficult half of the course, and we'll see if things get shaken up. Right now, Jonathan 4 under through the front 9, Nick 3 under, Benjamin 3 under, and Christopher even through the front. Hole 10, most of our competitors will go the route you're seeing, and that comes in a little tight, but you're trying to play out to that left side airspace. Sets up very well here for a lefty. And that ultimately will be pretty much right next to the pin. That's parked. Just 279 feet. Huge flare skip for Benjamin. That's also going to put him right next to the pin. Just doesn't seem to be quite dialed. That's what how I'd summarize Christopher's front 10 so far. Benjamin, tap in range. Jonathan, tap in range. The lefty, Nick, tap in range. So 3 birdies here on our lead card. 10 played as the 5th easiest hole on the course. Average 2.5. Now they'll make a slight shift over to the left to get to the tee of 11. Eleven plays slightly uphill. Just 260 feet. Probably plays closer to 280, maybe even almost 300. If Nick comes just inside of that, I feel like that's probably going to finish to the right of the pin high, but instead gets caught up. Benjamin. Well, okay, right there. And coming in low, playing for the skip, not a bad idea here, especially with all the leaves that are in the ground in late November. Yeah, Nick in disbelief. There's a lot of room there. Now he's got this left for par. That's a punch to the gut. Hole 11, not overly difficult to get for birdie. And he's got 3 of his card mates all looking at just that. So likely losing 2. Including to our leader here, Jonathan, who's going to tap in. And Jonathan's going to move to 15 under. This course plays as a par 56. Holes 17 and 15. Or if I did them in order, 15 and 17 are both playing as par 4s. This next one might kind of feel like it, though, as well. .386, slightly uphill, and a relatively narrow fairway. I guess depends on whose standards, right? This is a wide open fairway in Charlotte. I understand that. But if you get off the fairway here, left or right, you're probably wasting a stroke just to get back out to the fairway. There's not a lot of forward progress if you kick hard left or right on this hole. Not great, but not bad. Low line drive anywhere near the fairway or edge of fairway is really what you're looking for. You wouldn't be mad with carding a 3 every time you play this hole. Benjamin quite a ways back. And looks like he got over on that too much to the left side. He'll have a putt to save par, but not one of length he was hoping for. And now it looks like Nick's pushed up far enough that he's going to have a little bit of opening here. Is that a cat that just ran? Yeah, okay. Yeah, a cat was running across the fairway. Not Katrina Allen, not Cat Merch. Very unusual. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere at this park. Should be a par in store for our leader. Benjamin would love a par here. And it feels like the misses he's had have all been front of the basket. And you're seeing the names pop up here. These are the gracious gentlemen that all put in a little extra. Some put in a little extra, then some put in a little extra on top of that. And that was those guys. So I appreciate each and every one of those as digital sponsors here for the tournament, helping offset some of the costs. We had pizza for lunch. Everybody was treated to free pizza along with a beverage. Non-alcoholic, of course. Even though you could, it's lunch. Anyway, free pizza. I want to keep everybody at the park because we have a very quick turnaround. Not a lot of daylight at the end of November. And the players pack was ridiculous if you were playing in a non-pro division. Island green here on 13. Well, it's an island in that once you're on it, you've got to land on it or you get near it, but you can lay up short. It is not a must-hit island green, so to speak. So those shots, both inbounds, they're going to be short of the OB. Kind of looks like if you had an overview shot here, the hole looks like it's in the middle of a bagel. And that's going to be safe as well. It's really just if you're completely surrounded by the pavement, are you considered out of bounds? Any OB shot goes to the drop zone. Every other shot after the tee shot plays with standard OB. Nice and easy. That'll be a tap-in par for Benjamin. And that barely stays on, but no problem. Nick also safe. So I felt like we saw all four of these guys going for the island off their drive, and all four of them had bad drives that then got caught up short. So they should be able to recover with pars. And all four of them have successfully pitched onto the island. This ended up playing as the third most difficult. And it averaged over par. So 281 feet, slightly downhill. And it averaged 3.21. And in unbelievable fashion, James Lesniewski, the only birdie of the round. Nice work, James. .353 feet. Similar to 12, that you have a tunnel that you're following. However, this is much more reachable. It's also flatter. An errant tee shot could kick you hard to the right, and you could find the OB. You're hearing the county highway. going to be short for Christopher. Nick, questioning life. And a tree kick maybe helped him. He could have done without it, but it doesn't look like it really hurt him either. So Nick back out on the edge of the fairway. That's exactly where Chris had landed. And Chris's run here of championships at the Cold Turkey, looks like his chances are dwindling, but not a problem for long-range Nick. Great par save. Chris has won this event the last 3 years in a row. And at this point, Jonathan doesn't care about any of that. That's a solid birdie.
That's still flatter than my other putt. I'm telling you, like, I just saw your knee lock.
Guess we're doing form review in the middle. Whatever it is, it appears to be working. I believe Jonathan's dad and wife are playing in the event as well. Make this a family affair out here for post-Thanksgiving action. You know I got to ask, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food component? As in, I was going to say dessert, but I don't, just what do you associate with Thanksgiving? For some, believe it or not, it's not turkey, but name anything. If you want to get creative that's not turkey, I'd love to hear it, but it could be a dessert, could be a side dish, could be an appetizer, a snack that you and the family enjoy. I don't care. You tell me, though, what it is that you most associate with the Thanksgiving meal. Put that in the comments. I've got a disc to give away. As we see well off the line for Benjamin there a moment ago. And tight and left is going to be a trouble spot for Chris as well. Jonathan was up the middle, and Nick's trying to get up the middle. And believe it or not, that's probably a good tree kick. When you're looking at the pin that's hard left from there, another 150 feet. Oh, the double tree kick. So now Benjamin's going to find himself where he wishes his drive was. And we saw this hit the tree and stop here. I guess that's better than getting even more buried in there. Although the line out is not clean. I'd consider this somewhat of a soft par 4. You don't really see birdies too often if it were a par 3. So I feel like it's on the softer side, but the numbers maybe are saying otherwise. It averaged 4.07. It feels like it's a 3 you should get all day long, and occasionally you see the 2. Nick in position for par. And Chris went considerably down the hill here. That parking lot can come into play as out of bounds. He didn't get all the way there, but not exactly a ideal spot to be. Off in the distance at 12 o'clock, just beyond that building, is actually where the tee of 16 is. So there's somewhat of a lengthy walk between 15's basket and 16's tee. And actually, if you went directly behind Chris to the tree, and then back another 300 feet, that's actually where 16's pin is. All right, that's a working man's par if I've ever seen one. Deep on the approach, less than ideal third, and then a solid putt to close it out. And Jonathan adds another one to the scorecard. Big shout out to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle. Any products for your pets, make sure you go find the Distinguished Doodle. We got a DG Guy code, 20% off. Doesn't get any more straightforward than this. 16 right down the pipe, slightly downhill, 269 feet. And that flips up and gets caught up on the right side. Just not going Chris's way here today. Can Nick get this to ring up? No, it holds straight on him.
No, I'm way farther than you.
16, average 2.57. So certainly on the easier side. 6th easiest hole on the course. This is one of the few holes on the back 9 where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. That should be an easy birdie for me. It's really the only hole on the back 9 where you kind of are counting on a birdie. And we see right now, over 2. Can Jonathan get it? No, you can't. So guys, I'm telling you, this is much easier than these guys are currently making it look. Benjamin, 5 under for the round. And he'll get it in. That one's going to be a birdie. So he goes to 6 under for the round and is trying to leapfrog past Nick here, or continues to at this point. And we're going to have just 17 and 18 to play. 17 a par 4, 18 beautiful finishing shot. Just 2 left to play. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I've talked about it. If you are a supporter of mine via Patreon and you are that 60 days prior to me hitting 100,000 views or 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to then just send you a free disc. So whenever that happens, whenever I get to 100,000 subs, I'll look back at my Patreon supporters, and if you were there 2 months prior to that or earlier, you're going to get a free special commemorative disc sent to you. It's going to cost me a couple hundred discs, possibly. I'm good with that. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. That's one of the main reasons we see bonus footage here at the end of the year, is because I have the support of my Patreon subscribers. So pat yourselves on the back if you're supporting me that way.
Yeah.
Hole 17 plays basically 300 feet dead straight and then dog legs to the left. And you have to make it around the bend here. And that's exactly where you'd love to be off of your tee shot. Like, that would be a near perfect tee shot. Yeah. Same could be said for Nick. That's kind of where you'd love to be in 1. Benjamin, great placement for his tee shot, the forehand. That's going to put him next to the pin. That should be a birdie. And that also should be a birdie. Making very light work of it. Jonathan trying to close the door. I was going to say permanently, but indefinitely. He is not finding anyone else on this card. He does have to keep an eye on the chase card. And Nick playing to the backstop, which I like. A little bit aggressive, as he said, giving that one a bid. So after the previous slip, Chris is looking at a bogey. Nick is, unless he makes it. Solid putt.
Just here for the entertainment, I guess.
We'll take that entertainment all day long, Nick. Benjamin matching his score from the previous round. He shoots a 7 under to open. Now he's at 7 under with 1 left to play. And Jonathan also matching his round 1 score at 9 under. Pretty solid golf, as this event is brought to us by our friends at Dynamic Disc. Saying thank you. You're trying to go up the tunnel here. A lot of scattered trees to miss. Very drivable, 371-foot par 3. And all things considered, if you square up a tree here and to have it drop straight down like that did, you're not feeling too bad about it. As you see Nick hit the same tree and get a kick off to the left. That's going left. High left side. This hole will eat more discs than any other hole on the course, and that apparently is exactly what happened with Chris. Couldn't find the tee shot, so he has to go back to the tee and throw with penalty. So that is Chris for throwing his 3rd, and he'll have a look from about circle's edge to save the bogey. Just all the leaves you see off on that left side, also on the right side. I'm not encouraging you to come out and look for the dozens of discs that are out there, but there's a lot of discs out here on 18. Just continues to eat them. And I encourage every year, send somebody ahead. Use a spotter if you have to. Not ideal for Nick, because that leaves him with this for par. That sounded like a coin hit in Mario. Ding. Speaking of coin, not going to help the payout by not converting there. Benjamin, a look to close out with birdie. And he's going to remain at 14 under. And the title defense is coming to an end here. It was a great run. 3 years in a row of winning this event. But Chris, this year, will be shut out. As Jonathan makes his way over. This is the putt for par to close it out. Jonathan Borzick is going to head south and take in some warmer weather golf, but he's going to do so as champion of the Cold Turkey 18 presented by Dynamic Disc. Congratulations to you, Jonathan. The rest of the card will tap in, and we'll take a look at our final scores. Again, like, share, subscribe. Big thanks to all the supporters and sponsors. And big thanks to my buddy Dustin out there hustling around getting you guys the action. Please consider supporting me via Patreon, and we'll continue to bring you more disc golf here in 2024 and beyond. Jonathan Borzick, your champion by 4 at the 2023 Cold Turkey 18 presented by Dynamic Disc. Thanks for joining. We'll see you guys at the next one.